Hello there. So thanks for joining Excel Island live stream and welcome back to the channel if you're an existing subscriber, and welcome back if you're a new subscriber. So my name is Abatan Sheriffdeen and welcome to the live stream. So basically what I have been doing so far on this live stream is that I have been learning and upskill myself as a data analyst using the resources on the Datacamp platform. So I'm currently learning data analyst in SQL on the career track on the Datacamp platform. And currently I am a top rated plus freelance data analyst on the Upwork platform. So I decided to go on a learning journey for the next 100 days and upskill myself to reinforce my skills and make it a little bit much more stronger. They get it now. So I'll be doing that for the next last 100 days, and today is day 84 of that learning journey. So far, so good. I am on the last course in the career track on the Datacamp platform. So let me show you what that looks like. You can see I'm on the data analyst in SQL career track on the Datacamp platform. If I go towards the career track section here, that is coming up real quick. So the career track section actually contains 11 courses for over 39 hours or maximum. So estimate time, sure. The whole course is estimated for 39 hours, 11 courses, 1 project, and statement of accomplishment. So far so good. I am 94% through the whole courses. That is what I've been doing on this live stream for the last 84 days. So the goal after this is to start the data analysis in Power BI section also, and I'll also be live streaming that learning journey also. So you definitely want to subscribe right now and put on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I go live soon on the next live stream. Also, there's also the data analyst in Python. Definitely be doing that also. So if I click on the data analyst in SQL career track, so while that is coming up, let me tell you a little bit about myself. As I said earlier, I'm a top rated plus freelance data analyst on the Upwork platform. So I've had major success on the platform, and that is due to the influence of a coach, a mentor, someone who has actually been guiding me through the whole process, putting me through what to do and what not to do. So his name is Ben Gadibi, and he currently has a course called the Freelance Clients Magnet course. And what this course also does is that it teaches you also to become a successful freelancer and run a successful freelancing business like I did. So I'll leave a link to the course under the YouTube description. You can check it out and purchase the course with the link in the YouTube description. So back here, if I see the data analysis in SQL career track, you can see it contains 11 courses, over 39 hours estimation, then 1 project. If I click on see all contents, you can see I'm on the last course, the 11th course, which is data communication concepts in SQL. Then we have the project, then we have statements of accomplishments. Also, there is the Datacamp certification also. I'll also be live streaming this. Probably I won't, I don't know yet. I plan to contact the Datacamp support team to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong in their terms and conditions though. We have the right to read that also. So if I go back to the progress dashboard, I'll just go back and continue from where I stopped on the last live stream. So this is the last course in this whole career track. If I click on that, so the goal is to learn for the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 1 hour maximum, and compound those knowledge over time. So I think we've completed the chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, we're on the chapter 2. I've completed chapter 1 in this section. I'm on the chapter 2. So let us just continue from here. But before I start, I need to launch my slide. The slide from the course material. Always love it open. So let's visualization for different audience. Let's learn about that.
Great job on these exercises. Now let's learn about how to include visualizations in our story. We know how to craft a story for a technical or non-technical audience. Now we're ready to choose a data visualization intended for that specific audience. We've seen that visualizations are key elements for a data story. When we find the insights and have the right data, we still have to choose and adjust the visualization to the message we want to convey. Again, we should consider our audience expertise in the topic and familiarity with the concepts to select what graphs they can easily interpret. For example, a density plot would be okay for a technical audience, but a histogram would be more appropriate for non-technical people. Let's get back to our chocolate project to illustrate some best practices for visualizations. Imagine we need to communicate two different messages, the first one for an investor and the second one for our technical lead. To include relevant visualizations, we should determine which data elements are required to help us convey our message, and only include those visualizations that are directly linked to our message. For our investor, we could show a graph showing the forecast monthly revenue for both scenarios, launching and not launching a marketing campaign. For our technical lead, we need to include a graph that shows how well our model performed on historical data. Visualizations should also provide context to support our message. For the investor, we can include a graph showing the most influential factors for a customer to buy our chocolates. So for example, the higher the price, the less likely the customer is to buy, and vice versa. The technical lead will be interested in this, but also more details on the analysis itself, such as the detailed feature importance. The Pareto principle states that the majority of outputs come from a minority of inputs. So outside of the data contributing to our story, there will be some data that is less relevant, but that we want to include. We should aggregate it to reduce noise, such as presenting the sales for chocolate, chips, and other products instead of each product separately. Our visuals can be made approachable and engaging by considering our audience background and simplifying the visuals to the audience knowledge level. Basically, we care about how many insights our audience gets from our visualization and how quickly they get it. A complex plot gives many insights but takes time to understand. A simple plot gives few insights but is quick to understand. In general, less is more. Instead of showing a lot of detailed visuals, we should just focus on the most simple and relevant ones that support our message. There are some steps that we can follow to include and present visualizations effectively to our audience. They were established by David McCandless, a British data journalist. First, we should give our graph a headline, which we then use to introduce the visualization and focus the audience's attention on it. The headline should be short, clear, and obvious. It supports our story and clarifies the visualization. In doubt, we can use the y-axis versus x-axis technique, for example, chocolate sales by month. Then, we should anticipate common questions from our audience, such as where does this data come from, or why did we focus on this characteristic specifically? With these questions answered before being even asked, attention is focused on our graph and our story. After that, we should clarify what insights the visual is showing. We should explain to the audience what they are seeing and not assume that they will ask later or understand by themselves. For example, chocolate sales have decreased with time. Lastly, we need to help the audience relate to the graph and its insights, making sure they understand why the insights matter, how it will support further insights in the presentation, or how this insight can be acted upon. For example, the chocolate sales are relevant to the finance department as they impact the revenue, or to the marketing department as advertising might help. Now it's time to practice these concepts.
Okay, let's practice letting the right data. So salary development. So you are presenting your data analysis of San Francisco salaries to the business development department. So you have your story and you selected data and metrics to support it. But choosing the visualization is still an ongoing task. You decide to speed it up by getting hands-on. You want to follow the best practices. So the message you want to convey is San Francisco salaries have been constantly going up in the last 4 years. The percentage variation is 10% annually. The salary of people working in the private sector, such as software or biotechnology, have increased by 100K. Can you classify if these practices would be good or bad when presenting to the business department? So instead of labeling the visualization with complex terms, use a terminology that is accessible to a business stakeholder. That's two good practice. Let's see. Include a line plot that shows the average salary in the public health sector from 2017 to 2021 to compare with private sector. A line plot that shows average salary in the public health sector. That is good. Can do something like that. That is trends over time. The aggregate the average salary in the public sector into one bar. Aggregate the average salary in the public sector into one bar. How about the private sector? Include a bar plot that shows the average salary in the private software and biotechnology sector from 2017 to 2018. I'll see figure it out. Include a detailed feature importance. Include a detailed feature importance graph with coefficient to show which factor has influenced the most. Let's see. Let's see. I know I'm missing one. Aggregate the average salary into one plot bar. If you're aggregating the average salary in the public sector into one bar, you're telling me this is a bad practice. That if you include a line plot that shows average salary in the public health sector from 2017 to 2021 to compare with the private sector. Average salary doesn't really make sense though. But it's not a bad comparison. So amazing. Being able to select impactful visualization for each audience is a key skill. Simple and engaging graphs go a long way in making your data story understandable. That's quite easy. So salary on demand. It says you have selected visualization for the business development department. It is time to include them in your reports and present them. You are aware of the steps you should follow to include and present visualization effectively, and you want to do your best and impress your business co-workers. So you ask a colleague to help you organize your thoughts. Can you order the steps for including and presenting visual data effectively? Introduce the visualization yearly total pay for private sector from 2017 to 2020. Explain the data was obtained from a public survey made of 100K employees. I think that's the first step. State the average salary in the private sector has increased from 2017 to 2021. Tell the audience that this is important because the company could attract and retain employees with a competitive salary. Show that particularly in software and biotechnology, the average total pay has increased by 50%. We should arrange it to the best, okay? Bring it on to the last. Hmm. Not supposed to be the first one, yeah? If I'm bringing if I'm introducing the audience that this is important, why having the what? The presentation. Let's see. Oh, this should come first. This is not coming first. So this one, I put this one here before. We explained that data was obtained where we got the data from as the first step, but it's not accepting that as the first steps. Why? Hmm. So this one I'm missing. I tell him what will I be showing first? I should be showing this first. Why? We'll be talking about the source of my data sets. Okay, let's start with the average salary, then yearly salary. Oh, okay. That means this one is not supposed to be here. Let's see it again like this. Why? I'm going straight. I introduce the visualization. Yearly total pay for private sector from 2017 to 2020. Introduce the visualization. They explain that the data, where we got the data from. Okay. Hold up. I need to grab this simple analogy and save it somewhere for reference purpose. So great job. By following these steps, you increase the chances of presenting your visualization in an engaging and powerful manner. Okay, that's good to know. We're almost to with chapter 2. Using the appropriate formats. Let's see.
We've just seen how to include visualizations in our story. Now we'll learn when to use several presentation formats. This is the final piece in our communication strategy. We've designed our story, we've defined our approach, we've selected the right data, and we've chosen an impactful visualization. Now it's time to present it to our targeted audience. A good communication format shows key information from our project in a way that is engaging and easy to understand. There are two main formats that we'll discuss here: written reports and oral presentations. Most data science projects will require a written report and an oral presentation, but in the end, it depends on the situation and project at hand. There are several things to consider when sharing findings: our audience, the content to include, special requirements to take into account, and which channel to use. All these elements help us define the best format to communicate our results. The first thing to consider is who we are presenting to. This helps figure out why the target needs to know about the findings: for accountability, to understand the methodology. How are they going to use our findings? To make a decision? To start a new project? What information do they need? Our results? The impact our findings have? The answer to these questions will help us decide which content to include. Should we focus on results, conclusions, include recommendations, or just explain the method in detail? The next step is to identify whether any stakeholder has special requirements. Do they have enough time to read a detailed report, or is a short meeting better? Do they report to someone else and need a document to back up a claim? Are they in a different time zone, so written communication is preferred? We also need to think about how our presentation will be consumed. We could write a document such as a Word doc, a Jupyter notebook, a blog post, or an article. We could also build a slide deck. Then, how will it be delivered? Will we present directly to stakeholders, being able to answer comments or questions? Or will we share it by email or Slack and get questions later? Finally, how big would the audience be? We wouldn't present things the same way in a conference room of 6 people or a ballroom of 200. Selecting the correct format depends not only on the audience, but also on the strengths and weaknesses of the different formats. Oral communication allows for building a relationship with the audience and for immediate feedback or actions. It delivers a rich message because body language and voice add meaning. However, unless we provide a recording, the message cannot be revised because there is no permanent record of communication. And it is not suitable for lengthy messages, as the longer the presentation is, the more chance there is that the audience will lose focus at some point. The written format provides records of communication so the message can be analyzed on the longer term. It is easy to share with large audiences, and it's less prone to emotional reactions. It's also suitable to share code with any technical stakeholder for review or replication. However, not seeing the audience reaction makes it harder to adapt, as the feedback is not immediate, but will come later in the form of comments. Let's look at an example. We are presenting our findings to the CommunicatB CEO. She's interested in our conclusions and wants quick answers to her questions. She's rather busy, but happens to be visiting our office at the end of the week. This is a perfect occasion to set up a quick meeting and deliver our findings using an oral presentation. After the meeting, the CEO tells us important decisions will be based on our conclusions and reported to investors. Now it's time to structure our results in a written report, taking into account the questions and feedback we got from the CEO. Okay, let's see if you can select the appropriate format given the situation.
All right, let's see. It says a communication problem. Your coworker has been working on a project on price predictions. He asks you to help him choose the most suitable format to deliver his result to the executive board as well as to his team. You give him a set of advice and rules of thumb so he can make an informed decision. When you arrive home, you realize that you made one mistake. Which of the following advice should you not have provided? The amount of time the CEO can dedicate to getting up to speed with your analysis is an important factor in your choice of delivery formats. If a software engineer in your team wants to continue your project with new data, the central piece of information to include in your meeting is the project conclusion. If your project manager located in a different time zone needs your result to communicate them to customers, a written report would be ideal. That one is correct. So it's between the first one and the second one. Let's see the first one. Definitely the second one. Because that's why your technical colleague will be interested in understanding the methodology you use and the results you obtain. It will help them replicate your projects. It says, which of the following data should you not have provided? Okay. They should be meet. So it's Friday. Your project manager comes by your desk. He asks you about the status of your project on salaries for San Francisco employees. She tells you that you need to close the project. Fortunately, you have unfinished building the model. But to close it, you need to communicate the results to different stakeholders. After she talks with the people involved, you start to receive emails asking about the results. You need to decide if you are going to use an oral presentation or a written report. Can you decide what type of format will be best suited depending on the situation and requirements? Let's see. Your manager wants you to present the result to the finance team so they can ask follow-up questions about salaries. A colleague wants to understand and digest your methodology so that she can replicate them in a new data set regarding churn for New York employees. A founder wants to have the San Francisco salaries analysis to support his position in the board meeting. Okay? Your program manager wants to close the project and understand what went well and what can be improved. Understand? Okay? So the software engineering team needs to understand your model to integrate it with an internal application on the back end. An investor wants the monthly update on your employee salaries projects to understand your conclusion. Investor, okay. Let's give it a shot. And boom. So we got that really quick. So each of them is either oral format or written form. So it says when in doubt. So you manage to deliver the results to the you manage to deliver the results to almost all the stakeholders. You are about to start writing the report for the founder when you get an email. Your founder is coming by the office the following Friday. Your manager wants to know if presenting the project during the meeting will be better. You have a second thought about engaging on changing the format. So you decided to write down beneficial and unfavorable aspects of the oral presentation. Classify your thoughts easily. You are very eager to know the opinion of the founder about your recommendations. Your conclusion highlights that a decision is needed immediately. You want to communicate a lengthy message, so you want all the results to receive the proper attention. Your body language will contribute to the impact your results will have. The founder will share your project with a large audience, so you would like to study your conclusion. Give it a shot. Obviously, only one. Then I'm missing this. Doesn't have to study my conclusion. The beneficial. You want to communicate a lengthy message. Yep. Wow, so we are done with chapter 3 of this course. This last chapter. We are moving to chapter 3 now. In chapter 4. I think we should stop here today. We completed that chapter, so it's best we stop here today and continue on the next live stream. Alright guys, so thanks for staying till the end of the live stream. So if you found value in this video, do support the channel by hitting that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and put on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I go live or drop new content. Also, do not forget to check out the freelance client magnet course by my coach Benga DBE using the link in the YouTube description. So I'll see you in the next video on the channel or on the next live stream. You have a wonderful night.